Welcome everybody to the CHG podcast.
What's up, guys?
There we go. David forgot his cue. It's been so long we forgot our cues.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so sorry it's been a while. So long everybody. David has been his busy boy with that school life. And I haven't bothered to ask people to be on the podcast with me. so yeah. We're gonna get right into it. We have a little bit of a shorter one today as David needs to go and do some of that muscly big boy security in a little bit.
Yeah.
Is
it recording? One. I'm not getting any record on my voice.
It's there now.
You can see it on yours?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not coming up on mine. Just want to make sure. All right, cool.
I mean, I fucking hope so.
We'll see.
Anyway, so we're getting right into it. David, have you had any time to play anything?
A little bit, yeah. I played Persona 5 a lot.
Again,
like weekend. Yeah, because it's on Xbox Game Pass now. So, came out. I'm enjoying that. It's the Royal Edition, which is significantly different than the regular edition. Like, it's not just DLC or a few like minor tweaks. Like, it's legitimately different. Like, it's the same game and the same like steps, but there's a lot of minor differences, not just a couple. So it was fresh. It's fun.
Well, I knew they added a whole new character, so obviously you need to weave that into the game.
I haven't met a new character yet, unless I could be forgetting because there is a girl that I don't remember.
Yeah, that's probably the new character. Well, it was a girl. I remember it was the redhead, a redhead chick.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. She my bae. So
she's pretty cute. I've seen her. She's cute. She's a little cutie.
I don't know if she becomes a Persona user, but she's definitely.
I think she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be the new like brand new character, like teammate and all that stuff into the game.
Dope. So
awesome. But like with a game like that, it wasn't just like because with a game like that, you can't just like make some kind of DLC episode into the game. Like it has to be interweaved into the story.
There's a lot of little things that are different and changed in it. So yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Over the last few weeks, I played a few stuff. I finished Dark Souls. Both PS3, PS4 versions, those are both done. They're fine. PS4 version is a million times better. Like holy crap, it is so good. And it fixes Blighttown completely, which is great. Because Blighttown on the old versions basically shuts down your system for a little bit, if you even remember. If you even got that far.
I didn't get that far in the first one.
Yeah, well, the biggest issue with Blighttown is that it stutters your system. Like it drops your frame rate to like 10 the entire time. Fun. The game already has a problem with stuttering issues, but in Blighttown, it's like nonstop the whole time. And that's really what's really annoying. I mean, yes, the lighting is bad. The enemies are annoying, but the big thing is that the frame rate just tanks when you're in there immediately. But in the PS4, the remastered, it's all fixed. No stutters, lighting's better. Enemies still suck, but like you know what you're doing though, so they're not as much of a nuisance. So those are fine. Yeah. And then I did the DLC.
An actual decent remake, unlike recent ones we've been getting.
Well, this was probably the closest thing to a remake without being a remake. This was just a remaster. Yeah, but it was a really good remaster, though. It was a really good remaster. I mean, it was the closest thing you could get to being a remake, but it was still just a remaster. But it was really good. One of the better remasters I have actually played. Because, I mean, it makes sense. The game is so old that when they remastered it, it actually made a difference. So, yeah, so did that. I've been playing a couple indie games. Most notably, I finished up this one called Minoria, which actually is it's not like a totally unobscure game because actually it's part of a bigger series called Momodora or something like that. It's like a spiritual successor to those games. It's a Metroidvania, which, funny thing, because I don't play Metroidvanias, and I play them so little that I didn't even realize it was a Metroidvania until like a couple hours into the game. And then I was like, oh, wait. Oh, this is a Metroidvania. I didn't even realize I was playing a Metroidvania. But this one wasn't hard, like most Metroidvania games are, or tend to be. It was fine. It wasn't bad. You could definitely tell they put effort into the game. for sure. It wasn't a bad game by any means. Annoying in some parts, but it was fine. And then I've just finished up this one called Origami, which is a assassin ninja game, stealth, kind of like Tenchu from back in the day. Um, yeah,
I don't know if I
it.
played it.
I mean, I never played either, but I just know from like the PS1 era. It was all right. A bit annoying in some parts. Definitely an indie title. Definitely, a small studio made this, but it was all right. You could tell there was love. It just wasn't really good in a lot of aspects. But there's a sequel, and I'll play the sequel eventually and see how much better they improved everything. I will say the story was fine. The story was fine. It was about basically a goddess from another clan. Um, Not really a goddess, but just becomes a goddess because her powers are so good. She basically is revered as a goddess. She gets trapped by a rival clan, like leaders, but using the special technique. And while she's trapped, she's able to summon this vengeful spirit called an origami. And then it turns out at the end of the game, which I guess spoilers, but it's an indie game from 2016. Fuck you. The spirit is actually one of the dead members of that rival clan that trapped her. But she knew it, but he didn't know that because his memories were gone. And then he eventually puts the pieces together after he kills all his generals, which were his former friends. And so I was like, huh, interesting. But she got what she wanted. She still dies because you kill her at the end. But I'm wondering what can you do with this story after this? Because there's a sequel and you play as the same guy, I think. I don't know. But anyways, that was that. And now I am playing Neo again. Continuing on with that Abyss. I am getting to floor 650.
There you go. Keep the march going.
Keep at if I actually get to the 900s, I actually might stream it. Like if I actually get that far,
There you go.
because that's going to be pretty cool for me. I never thought I would. I didn't think my build was good enough to do that, but so far we're making it. So yeah, that's about it for me. We're gonna continue on here. So we had a fun little idea. I had a fun little idea in my head about like what we could talk about, and I was thinking, what kind of games would we love to see like certain former U.S. presidents in? And it came to me because of some video from Game Ranks, which David's also watched, where they talked about the ending of one of these, of like some old game, like from the PS2 era, where at the end of it, like a time portal or something activates, and out comes Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, I think, and like some Fallout power armor. And then they're just
I think
like,
it's in Time Splitters.
what's Time Splitters? Okay, it maybe.
I think it's Time
Splitters. I
Splitters.
believe it if it was Time Splitters. And they're just like, we need to go. And then the game ends. And you're like, what? What the fuck? But like when I saw that, I was like, that actually sounds fucking badass. Abraham Lincoln and George Washington power. I was like, I would play the shit out of that. So I was thinking, David, what are some games from some presidents, like 3 or 4 presidents that you think, like what kind of game you think they would be in and why? And so it's right up David's alley. Because for those who don't know, David is a history buff. He's trying to be a history teacher. He's actually studying history classes in college, so it's right up his alley. He knows quite a bit about a lot of presidents, more than your boy. So I figured he had a lot of fun with this. I'll let you go, David. How many did you choose? 3 or did you do 3 or 4 presidents?
3. I did 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So the first one, I'll start off with the most silly one, and the one I thought out the least. So, William Taft is famous for being our largest president of all time.
Like large,
fat.
Okay.
Well over 300 pounds.
Damn.
He was a very large man. He had to have a custom bathtub made for him because the one that was in the White House could not fit him. So for William Taft, is a cooking game, a cooking simulator, where you gotta cook meals for William Taft, and it gets progressively harder, and you just gotta feed the fat man. So that was one that I just thought was like could be like a funny like shovelware.
So
or like
overcooked William Taft edition.
Yeah. Okay, so that was that one, and then the other one is Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was known for a lot of
A lot of
things,
things.
being a racist, being
Wiping out
just
the Native Americans.
yeah, just obliterating Native Americans. But I won't focus on that because we want to get our games actually made. So no Native American killing in this one. Instead, so before he became president, he a congressman insulted his wife on the Congress floor, and he had a duel with the dude. No one died. In this reality, in our reality, they're seconds. If you've seen Hamilton, you know what a second is. Their seconds ended up squashing the matter, and they didn't actually have the duel. He's had other duels in his life, but this one didn't. But in this reality, he does have the duel, and he kills the guy, and then the guy's family, goes after his family. So this is basically, imagine John Wick, but Andrew Jackson, as Andrew Jackson goes and gets his wife back from the other congressman's family that he killed. It's a first-person shooter where you're using flintlock loaders and hatchets and stuff. You're just going off getting John Wick, but Andrew Jackson in the East Coast of the mid 1800s.
I was
United
totally
States.
thinking another way of introduction would be like a Western, like an RDR game, like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, you could do that too, but I went John Wick on a mission of vengeance. And then the last one is one that me and RJ talked about, that texted about a little bit. And this is more like a I don't know, like a DLC patch or even just a mod to like Fallout games, or maybe this isn't the next Fallout game, but it's a zero intelligence run, but your president, former president, and God help us, hope maybe not, but probably future second term president Donald Trump. You're a zero intelligence Fallout run where you just like. So I've done a zero intelligence run, and you just say like the dumbest shit. And you'll like pass speak checks and everything, and it's fucking crazy. So like, you'll be like, in a facility where you're not supposed to be, and like a security robot will come across you and be like, oh, halt, who goes there? And then you just look at them, you're just like, Kofefe, and they're like, carry on, citizen, and just goes away. Like, or like, say you have this skill that like, no matter what gun you have, there is a 5% chance that when you shoot, it'll be like the Lone Stranger perk, where it like, that perk from
This is
Fallout.
the one where the little guy pops in your shoulder and shoots for you or whatever.
Yeah, and yeah, when you're in VATS. So same thing. It'll be the same thing in VATS, but instead, no matter what gun you have, Trump will be like, I have the best gun in the game. And then he'll just like, it'll be like an insta kill.
Oh man, this is great.
And then there'll be other Trump related isms.
Modders
if
get
you
on
lose,
this.
if you lose, like if you die, Trump will just be like, nope, I didn't die.
And you come back to life.
Fake news. Fake news. You died. I didn't die. The other person died, and then the other character that killed you will just die, because there will be a bunch of spineless politicians who will back whatever your game character says.
And then the final boss is Mitt Romney, because he was the only one. He was one of the very few to actually not listen to Trump.
Oh no, you'll straight up assassinate Mitt Romney. Oh wait, I don't know. This is a game, FBI. This is imaginary.
Well, yeah, but it has to be a final boss. I didn't say you wouldn't assassinate him, but he's still the final boss.
Sanity. Or more. No, okay. The final boss is the U.S. political system and democracy, and
Okay.
and
All right.
you'll blow up. You'll literally nuke the Declaration of Independence with a MIRV. You just grab a MIRV.
All right. Before
and
we
nuke
end
the
up getting
Declaration of Independence.
fucking canceled by the right wing, let's move on here. So my
So what are yours, RJ?
yeah. So the first one is going to be Lyndon Johnson, Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
And it's going to be a Last of Us style game, a Last of Us style third person action adventure game where you prevented JFK's assassination. You were like there during that whatever parade or whatever that was, and you
instead of causing it. It's a conspiracy. Sorry.
He somehow knows or sees the assassins, and he's able to like prevent JFK from getting assassinated. But as a result, it wasn't just that whoever the sniper dude, like it was a whole team, right? They're all around, and so he stops that. But like all these new like, these people out of nowhere try to like pick up the scraps and actually like, okay, if he can't do it, we'll fucking kill him. And then they escape, and then they're on the run. And then they have to figure out who did it and how they did it, and then go get them and kill them. But it's just them. It's Lyndon. You play as Lyndon the whole game, but you have JK with you the whole game. Kind of like Ellie's with you the whole game.
As Ellie.
As Ellie. JFK is Ellie.
He's just throwing you like beer bottles, like Lyndon.
Well, obviously not that incompetent, but
as he's awkwardly like shuffling right at the feet of a bad guy, and he's just like.
But it would work because JFK obviously is a bit of a talker, which is good because Ellie was the talker of that game. So JFK can have all these stupid little quirks and say things in the way that he talks, which I think would be hilarious. And also, we were throwing an Easter egg at some point in the game about Lyndon's massive schlong that he reportedly had.
Which RJ did not know about until
David
told him.
David had told me that, so that wouldn't be in the game, but it would be like an Easter egg, just to have some fun. So that was the first one. I think that would be hella awesome. The second one would be Barack Obama, not because he's black and I'm black, but just because I was thinking him
in a basketball game.
Yes, in NBA, and it's just him. It's all a bunch of Barack Obamas. That's all you do. No, I was thinking it's another buddy thing, but it's more like a buddy cop, kind of like a Kane and Lynch style game, where it's you and Joe Biden. Because they were like buddies. They're like buddies and shit like that. So I was thinking like it'd be hella fun, like an Army of Two, but Biden and Barack Obama. You could play as either of them, but the story revolves around Barack. And you kind of just go about, I don't know what the plot would be, but you just go about, I don't know, just killing all the people that said he wasn't American, something like that. I don't know, something like that. But it'd be like an Army of Two style game. Yeah, there you go.
I'll prove I'm not a terrorist by killing you.
Yeah. Well, then because no one can say I'm not, and they're all dead. So yeah, that was the second one. It'd be like a Kane and Lynch or like a Army of Two style game, or I was also thinking like maybe like make it, if you want to make it more narrative focused, make it more like a Max Payne style. Barack Obama was playing like Max, and he has to like it could be like in the like later years, and he's like even older, and he has to like redeem himself now for whatever reason. Maybe he's been like disgraced, and he has to somehow redeem himself, but he does it through a lot of killing and a lot of bullet time.
The way it's normally done.
I think that'd be kind of cool. I can only imagine Brock doing something like that out of all the presidents. So that would be dope as hell. And I was thinking, going back to Abraham Lincoln, because of his top hat, it makes him so gangster with that top hat that he has. And so just having him do some kind of like Wild West style game would be dope as shit. Like there's this game coming out called Evil West. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's a Western with like vampires and stuff like that. And so I was thinking like, man, Abraham Lincoln would be kind of cool at that. That'd be a cool setting for him, even though I don't think it's the same time frame, but it'd be cool if he was transported to the Wild West. Oh yeah, it's like what, 50 years, 100 years after him. because he was president in the
What?
1800s, and the Wild West was in the early 1900s. So it's like 50 or so years
Depending, yes.
after him. But anyways, it'd be cool to have him be in that time frame and do some crazy shit. So that'd be kind of dope. Just seeing him do some kind of like third person shooter thing, like Spec Ops: The Line or something like that. But it's just Abraham Lincoln. That'd be cool. David had mentioned to me he said it'd be hilarious to see Abraham Lincoln like in his Dark Souls game. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you know, like a Dark Souls vampire, where you
I'd
just
play
have
it.
an axe, and
Oh yeah.
there you go.
I would play the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Guys, make it happen. Make it happen. We need like a president game, like game where you play as a president in some ridiculous setting, and watch that game be like 8s, 9s, and 10s out of 10s. Sells 2 million copies first a week.
You heard it here first.
All right, so we're going to talk about this briefly, real briefly. We're like 9 minutes or whatever. But God of War dropped. God of War Ragnarok dropped, and it came out, and it's done great, reviewed well. I don't have any sales figures or anything just yet. I don't think anyone said anything, but it's been doing well. No one's had really any major complaints about the game. It's not like broken. It's mechanically sound. I'm sure there's like a couple glitches here and there, but it's on the by and far. It works. It runs well. Works well. Yes, there was a day one patch, but oh well. And there's no fucking shady, shifty shit in it, right? There's no like monetization schemes in it. There's no like little schemy shit. And I've been talking to a couple of people about it, and it's like, man, this is the first game in a good while that has reviewed well and didn't have any fucking shady shit to go with it. And I don't know if you noticed that yourself, but it's just been interesting how few games, at least big games, especially this year, that have come out that have actually like just done well, being just on its own merit, just being a good fucking game. And I was just wondering if you had thought about that and had any comments about like just it's been sad to see so many games, especially this year, that have come out and just been like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I mean, you have games like Arkham Knights didn't do well.
Did
It didn't even have
terrible.
any
Did
It didn't have
bad.
it didn't have any monetization or anything, at least not yet. And it did really bad. And I've been so uninvolved, like nothing has popped off and got my attention other than, of course, God of War would have. So I can't even really say anything else. What some other games that come out? Just to
Well,
jog my
if you want to look
memory.
at this year, I mean, yeah, Gotham Knights did terrible, but that was because people were
Yep.
speculating because that was supposed to be a live service game, but they had to drop it because Marvel's Adventures did so shitty.
Yeah,
And so they had
yeah,
to change
it did
everything.
not.
But you can tell that they couldn't change everything because it still feels and looks
Yeah.
like it was supposed to be
Yeah,
a live service
you
game.
have like you have like very microtransaction-y like item pickups
Yeah,
for armor
yeah,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah. And the fact that the plot is kind of crap, and like they kind of just focus on gameplay, but the
Yeah,
gameplay is a bit repetitive,
the
and
way you get side missions and stuff like
it
that. Yeah.
feels like Marvel's Adventures just with Batman. So,
Yeah.
it, it did that. That did bad. Saints Row, of course, famously did shitty.
Yeah,
That was
Saints Row,
a piece of
dude.
crap.
I think we already talked about that,
We
right?
did. It was a glitchy mess
Yeah.
at first. It also just wasn't a good game. Even if you took out the
Yeah.
glitches, it just wasn't a good game. The
It's
characters
just bad.
sucked. The story sucked. So that was bad. Overwatch 2 has gotten a lot of controversy for basically being
Yeah, with the
Overwatch.
whole needing a phone, but that's going to be all Blizzard games from now on out are going to require your phone
Even if you took
number.
out the phone controversy, it's still just like the game is just like just Overwatch. It's just Overwatch 1. But like they took out
I don't
but
and
now
see like
you can't play Overwatch 1 anymore because you have to play Overwatch 2 now. It basically like took that over. But then also you look at just the game itself, it's like where are the improvements? And they're not really
yeah,
there.
I never really expected improvements. I don't know why people did.
I mean, you should
Like the
expect
game
something.
was Overwatch was for what it was perfect.
Well,
Like
then you also look at the
for
fact then
what
that
they wanted it to do.
reportedly they were supposed to be bringing PvE into the game, into this one, which was
a
supposed to be
storyline.
the big thing about this one that actually would make it different.
Yeah,
But they scrapped it, or not about scrapped it, but it's not in it for now because they've
not
decided,
in it
well,
yet.
that doesn't make us money, so let's just focus on the PvP part. So that's, I mean, I'm not saying the game is, it's been getting
But bad press.
millions, it's been getting millions of players still, so obviously people are playing it, but it's also pushed away a lot of people because of these kind of stupid shit. It also just hasn't reviewed well either. And then you kind of go, those were the most recent games, but you look even up ahead, like even some of the good games didn't make the kind of splash that I'm assuming God of War probably will be making as time goes on. Like Dying Light 2, great game, good game, but for as long as we waited for that sequel, kind
Yeah,
of
it didn't
it
hit
didn't
the
meet the
same.
expectations. Horizon Forbidden West was a good game too, but it didn't
It
splash
just
as
got
hard.
pushed out.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it came out
it
the wrong
launched with
time
Elden
too.
Ring.
Yeah, it came out the wrong time.
It launched with Elden Ring.
If it had
So
been,
like,
it should have been a late spring, early summer hit. If it had came out around
yeah,
then, I think it would have been much better. But yeah. So unfortunately, that didn't make the splash it was supposed to make. The Last of Us remastered or remake that had its own controversies too. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has been fine, but like it's not the same game, right? So I mean, it is, but it isn't. Because I've seen people play the remake, and I'm like, I don't remember half this shit in the game. That was the
it's
only
not a
one.
remake.
That was the only one that I played. Modern Warfare 2.
It's not a remake.
Well, they're calling it Modern Warfare 2, so
Yeah, because Modern Warfare wasn't a remake. It's a reboot, like a soft reboot. Like
was it a re?
they're just
I thought it was supposed to be like a
no,
mix
they're
of like it kept
no,
some things and added new stuff.
they're just reusing
The
the
title.
name.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I guess I misunderstood it then.
it's not a reboot remake or anything. It's just a new Call of Duty game just using
Okay.
the same title.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, anyways, I mean, like Call of Duty's always going to be big. It's just duty, but you know,
yeah.
Gran Turismo 7 even had controversy when it launched. That didn't even launch as perfectly as people were hoping it to. You know,
Oh,
or
Gran Turismo. Yeah, there's some,
especially
yeah.
given how long we were waiting for that sequel, because people don't consider Sport as the sequel to 6. So you know,
Yeah.
people were upset with that when that first launched. You know,
Project Cars
they got disbanded now.
franchise got
Yeah, they're dead.
disbanded
I
by
heard about
EA
that.
because EA just kills things.
Well, because EA only wants
That's
one
what they
racing
do.
game, and that's Need for Speed, because they can't monetize Project Cars. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's just like too many. Like Elden Ring has been like the only game this year that like
That's
boom, you
really
know,
hit.
just boom, just. And God of War, I'm hoping will be the next one. At the very least, you know, at least it's not a game that's bad. But like I said, Dying Light 2 and Horizon Forbidden West aren't bad games, right? Like they're
Mm.
mechanically sound. They're not too broken or broken at all. But they just didn't like splash as hard as people were kind of hoping, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping God of War does make that splash that we haven't really been that we've been missing pretty much this whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of hard to do because Elden Ring does exist. Any calendar year that Elden Ring would exist, I mean, few games. I mean, you would have to be GTA 6 to, you know,
Yeah.
to kind of push people away from Elden Ring. So
It hit hard.
yeah,
That's for sure.
but
But I don't know.
yeah,
I'm just living in a world where I get free games,
Xbox Game
and
Pass.
I play those free games, and they're awesome. And I'm waiting for Humankind is in next month, and that's
No,
gonna be
dude,
dope.
fuck humankind. Fuck your
And High
Game
on
Pass.
Life.
Fuck High on Life because, and this is gonna be some good news to close out the episode here. So Ratchet and Clank celebrated its 20th anniversary. 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
It came out in 2002. It's 2022. Celebrated the 20th anniversary this week. And the first thing they did was they gave out some new skins for the Rift Apart game for Rivet and Ratchet, and they're all based off of old armor sets from previous games. So my nostalgia is just like heart attack. I don't really care that much though because like I'm not. There's no reason to play the game again. For me, like I've already played it like
Mhm.
multiple times, and I'm like I'm kind of done. If they added trophies or something to it, then okay, great. But anyways, but the big deal is that they're finally adding the older games to the PS Plus premium that were missing. They
There
already
you go.
had some, but they were all the older PS3 titles They're like the latter half of them. They didn't have the OGs, the original trilogy, and then Deadlocked, and then the first future title. They're all in there now, so you can play all of them on your PlayStation Plus Premium. Granted, they are the PS3 version, so you have to stream them, so there could be some issues with that. And I haven't streamed a game before through PS Plus, so I don't know how that's going to work. I'm hoping it'll be steady, but so that sucks for sure. But you can play them on my PS5. I think it's on the 15th. I cannot wait. I will be starting them and playing them all over again on my PS5, and I cannot believe I'm gonna be. That's like the one thing I wanted from the PS Plus Premium. That was like the one thing I was like, I want to be able to play Ratchet and Clank on PS5. I just want to play them again. I don't even need trophies. I don't need anything. I just want to play them, and I finally get a chance to. I will be binging the whole fucking series, and I cannot wait. Your boy is excited.
Congratulations.
Your boy is excited. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna wrap this podcast here. Sorry, it's an earlier one, but I'm sure some people are happy to sit for an hour.
Yeah. Let us know if you like a shorter one.
So yeah, we'll talk more about games and the industry later, I'm sure, as time goes on. Because man, a lot of disappointments.
Yep.
Coming around. But anyways, you guys all take care. Thank you for watching. That was David. I'm RJ, and we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day. Bye.